Buongiorno mister. Filippo Conticello, Gazzetta dello Sport.
Filippo Conticello, Gazzetta dello Sport. Bastoni has just said that in order to rediscover that sharpness, Inter almost need to be carefree in their mindset. Do you share that analysis? Do you agree with him? Yes. I said as much beforehand. I think I said that on the eve of the game against Monterrey. Being free in our minds, but also that being allied to responsibility is the key to success of a group of players, of a team in general. So I agree with what he said.
In questo periodo stiamo cercando di andare a toccare qualche corda.
At this stage we are trying to strike the right notes, fully aware of the run that we've been on. We're trying to leave behind things that didn't necessarily pan out well and didn't necessarily go the way that we wanted when it comes to achieving certain things. So in the two matches, I've really liked seeing our reaction, that pride, doing everything in our power with the energy that we currently possess, believing right until the end, scrapping and fighting, tapping into that pride and ambition in order to eventually come away with something.
Thank you.
Paolo Tomaselli, Corriere della Sera. Cristian, buonasera.
Paolo Tomaselli, Corriere della Sera. It's not easy to start your time as a coach in a big tournament like this, two very draining matches.
And
it looks like you've almost aged a few months in the space of two matches, but the responsibility that you've spoken about has never been found wanting for this team. They've produced two very professional performances. And you can see that the players are also buying into your instructions as well. That must be an important signal for you.
Noi abbiamo l'obbligo di stare nella stessa barca e remare nella stessa direzione.
It's our duty to all be in the same boat and all row in the same direction, even amidst difficulties. I think that's the secret in terms of those short words, in terms of those things that we need to rediscover at this moment in time. Obviously, it's not easy.
Superare momenti di difficoltà.
It's not easy to get through these tough times.
Che cercano di
However, when I see the players
tutto quello che hanno a disposizione del gruppo,
giving absolutely everything they've got for the good of the team, then that's something which really pleases me. And I've seen that from everyone, both in terms of those that train, those that have come back from international duty, and even those guys that might have a few knocks and niggles.
Sono in tribuna.
And unfortunately, those players at this stage, they're in the stands watching on. But I'm very pleased to see all of the players available for selection here, even though we are aware of the fact that some of the players won't necessarily recover in time to feature in this tournament. But they have made themselves available to the squad and the team, along with their colleagues.
And
they're willing to provide moral support at this stage when it comes to the team and the group of players. And for me as a player, for me as a coach, that's a source of pride. Good evening, Coach. What did you make of the first half and those tactical tweaks compared to the past?
Ci aspettavamo una partita diversa, probabilmente.
We expected a different game, probably.
Non me lo immaginavo.
I didn't envisage them playing with such a low block, so I had picked two tens in behind the striker to have more bodies in the middle of the park. I expected their approach to have their two lines necessarily pressing us a bit higher, but they had a low block and we had two number 10s and then we fell behind as well.
preso quel gol,
And had we not conceded this goal, then I might have even pressed ahead in the second half with the same idea, with the same approach, maybe giving a few more indications and pointers to my teams with regards to how to occupy the pitch. But when we fell behind, we needed another striker in the box. We needed to get more balls into the penalty area, especially with the density that they put in the middle of the park. We weren't able to go through the middle of the pitch, so we had to shift the ball out wide to the flanks. That's why we threw on Pio Esposito. That's why we added two number 8s at that stage. And their task was to make those runs in behind, those short bursts. We asked the players to shoot a bit more towards goal and to not always come back inside. So we wanted them to shoot from distance. Those were the aims that we set ourselves for the second half.
Quando finisce nella maniera che tu vorresti, è sempre bello.
And ultimately it's nice when the game ends with the result that you're looking for, but regardless of what came to pass, regardless of the full-time result, had it panned out differently, I still would have been very happy with the showing of character of the players. But if you only focus on the result itself, sure, we are at Inter and results matter. But for me, it was nice to see the pride, the ambition, and to keep plugging away right until the final whistle, and that's what the players did.
Buongiorno mister, Franco Vanni della Repubblica.
Franco Vanni, La Repubblica. Congratulations for your first win as Inter first team coach.
Prima infatti ho aggiunto con
I've won plenty. No, I added first team coach to avoid you specifying that.
il capitano della squadra.
The captain of the team, so maybe your most important player, and Valentin Carboni, they were the two goal scorers, alongside Pio Esposito as a player that you really brought through. How excited were you to see someone like Carboni and Pio Esposito coming thanks to these players that you really helped to bring through? That means I did an excellent job when I coached them in the academy. And I've known Pio ever since he was 13 years of age. That was the first time I met him. I'm pleased because they're two kids, but not only those two, but also the other guys that are there with us, but also those players that maybe from the Primavera, the under-20 side, weren't able to join us in taking part in this competition. I'm pleased to have a team that understands the importance of team spirit, that your age doesn't matter when it comes to football. And you always need to produce your best possible performance on an individual level that day and do your utmost to try and help the team out. The captain has shown that in this tournament. Even though he's on the back of so many battles over the course of 9 months of scraps and battles, but I love to see his competitiveness. I love to see that none of the guys want to get too hung up on the tough times. They're not giving up. They're doing everything in their power to find the mental and physical energy to show what they can do. I'm pleased that Valentin Carboni, and I was speaking to him yesterday or the day before yesterday, and he told me that it was 8 months exactly since his cruciate ligament injury. And coming through an injury like that with all of the hard work and graft he's had to put in over the last few months, the dark times, the questions that you ask yourself in those dark times, the uncertainty, you don't know whether you're going to come back to the peak of your powers. That's not easy at all. So it was lovely to see him so emotional. I was a little bit emotional as well. It brought a tear to my eye because he's a kid that I know very well. And I'm delighted that he has the opportunity now to experience something as significant as that.
Thank you, grazie.
Grazie. Buona giornata.